f of x, which is 1 over 1 minus x. Or was it x minus 1 or 1 minus x?
Let me check.
It doesn't matter. We can do this one if it is not the same.
It was 1 minus x.
Okay, perfect. So when I'm asked to find the derivative of this function, and I'm asked to use the definition. When I'm asked to use the definition...
We can't see your page.
Of course not.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Of course not. Of course not. Thank you for your patience. Of course not. Okay, sorry about that. So keep me on the right track, and I'll try to keep you on the right track. That's the deal here. So, and we're asked to use a definition. Immediately, we have to write the definition. Limit as h approaches 0 from f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. And we know these are the two concepts we discussed so far. I know I sound like a broken record, but it will stick if I do that. Sorry. So this is the difference quotient, and this is the limit. When we put them together, we get a derivative. So now I have to continue. Remember, do not drop the limit operator. Write the equal symbol so I know that something continues. So I will write limit sh approaches 0 from 1 over, can anyone tell us what to write?
1 minus x plus h.
But then you have to say parentheses, so careful. What do I write? You either say parentheses or you already distribute.
1 minus x minus h.
Very good. Good. And then minus 1 over 1 minus x divided by h. Thank you. Who was that, Amanda? Thank you. Perfect. What is the next step?
Find the common denominator.
Great job.
Denominator.
Great job. Great job. Good. So then this is limit sh approaches 0. And h is h over 1. And we want to find the least common denominator. So let me ask Noor. Can you give us the least common denominator, please?
Oh, sorry, it wasn't unmuting.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So what is the least common denominator?
Would it be, I'm not 100% sure if this is right, but would it be xh?
Can anyone help with the least common denominator?
It would be.
It's okay if you do it together. That's fine too.
It's 1 minus x minus h times 1 minus x.
The product of the two. Very good.
And it's that way because there's no
common.
There's nothing that they both have between each other.
No
so
common factors. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so now what is the adjustment I call it, or what do you multiply the top of the first fraction? Alex, will you tell us? Alex, you are muted, I guess. Alex is lost. Alex? Okay, Brianna?
Would it just be 1?
Okay, we need to talk about this because this is concerning to me. So when I subtract, let's say 1/3 from 1/2, what would be the least common denominator?
6.
Good. 2 was multiplied by what to get 6?
3.
So that's why we need to multiply the top by 3. 3 was multiplied by what to get 6?
2.
So that's why we need to multiply the top by 2. So now what is the numerator? Yes, so I have to write 3 minus 2. So this is 1/6. Same concept here. It looks differently, of course, because of x, of the variable and age, but it's the same concept. So what do we do?
The first fraction, you would do multiply 1 minus x, and then the second one would be 1 minus x minus 8.
Thank you very much. Who was that, Michelle?
Savannah.
Savannah. Thank you very much, Savannah. Okay, so then the numerator will be 1 minus x. But now I have -1 to be distributed to these three terms. So this is -1 and plus x and plus h. Do we all agree with that? Okay, Gabby, what has to happen next whenever we calculate the difference quotient? What is the next step that must happen? For sure.
You combine like terms.
Correct. All terms without age must go away. If they don't, we know we have an error. We have to go back to the drawing board. Very good. Perfect. Okay, so indeed that's what happens. I put this symbol here because I want you to know that there is something that follows. And since I wrote this in the middle, which is not connected per se, so you know where to jump. So the numerator is age, the denominator is 1 minus x minus h. And then how do we divide two fractions? Shvam, how do we yes? Shvam, are you with us? How do we divide two fractions? I'm sorry? Zainab, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you take the inverse.
Right, the multiplicative inverse. So we copy the fraction from the top and we flip, if you want, the denominator. Very good. That's how this is going away. And now final answer. Alex, are you back? Can you give us the final answer?
Yeah, it's 1. I'm sorry, couldn't unmute myself.
That's okay. So what is the final answer for this limit?
1 over 1 minus x times 1 minus x minus x. Well, yeah.
Very good. Awesome. Good. Do we have other questions or we move on to section 1.5? Anything else for me? Anything else?
Could you please do a rational example from the homework, like finding the difference quotient of a rational? Or sorry, I meant something with a radical.
Yes. It's a very good point. Yes?
It was f of x square root 2x minus 9.
Excellent. So we want to find f prime. Correct? Was this problem on the homework?
Yeah, it was on 1.3.
Was it on this homework?
The math lab. It was in the math lab.
Digital one.
Oh, okay, that's so good. Because let me tell you why I was asking. Because right before class, I wrote the solutions, and I said, "Oh my goodness, maybe I missed something." So it was not on this one. Okay, good. That's why I said, "Oh my God, I probably missed something." Okay, good. So I have to write the definition right away. So this is the limit as age of. Very good question, by the way. Thank you. I have to write f of x plus age minus f of x divided by age. Please do not start without writing f prime, without writing the limit, without writing the difference quotient, exactly how I presented, please. Okay, so now I have limit again as age approaches 0. Can anyone give us f of x plus h? Haber, will you give us the f of x plus h?
It would be the square root of 2x plus h, without 2h minus 9.
Good, minus?
minus the square root of 2x minus square root of 2x minus 9.
That's it. Very good. Perfect. Okay. So when I plug it in, I get 0 over 0. It's an indeterminate case. So how do I proceed? We had a similar example somewhat some time ago. So what do you think? What do we need to do for this?
Do we need to turn it into an exponential phrase by using the laws of exponents on the top?
No, we cannot do that. Good point. Let me talk about it. So the square root of a plus b does not equal the square root of a plus the square root of b, which will be a to 1/2 and b to 1/2. So please be careful. So the square root of these three terms cannot be simplified. It's carved in stone. That's it. You cannot change anything there. So then what do we do? Other suggestions. I'm putting a triangle there now, so you know where it continues. So what do we do next then? What are the other? Yes?
I'm not sure if this is right, but I did the whole equation to the power of 2 to try and get rid of the square roots.
Okay, I have to address that. Let's say I'm telling you that I have $10 in my pocket, and I'm going to decide to square it. Do I have $10 squared, $100 squared?
I mean, but you have 10 over 1, so if you squared the 10 and the 10 and the...
So we have 10 over 1, and we decide to square. But is this the same with 100 divided by 1?
I guess not, because 1 squared is just 1. Never mind.
So if we... No. I mean, these two are equal. That is correct. But can I say that 10 over 1 equals 100 over 1? So the point I'm making is, no matter what procedure we use, it has to be legitimate. For example, if I have the square root of x equals 4, yes, I am allowed to square both sides. I get on this side x, and I get on this side 16. And then I go back to the original equation and plug it in to check. Is the square root of 16 4? Yes, and I'll say yes. But if I have a fraction, I cannot just say, okay, let's square. I can't do that. It's like I have $10 in my pocket. I decide to square it. And I look at my pocket and I still have 10. So we can square just anything. We can square both sides of an equation. But in a fraction, we cannot do that. So what we do is rationalize the numerator. And you can say, what's with all this? Yeah. So if I have, for example, the square root of 2 over 3, and I multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, this is nothing. This is 1. If I multiply a fraction by 1, I still get the fraction. But a different type of fraction, if you want, a different form of the same fraction. Because when I multiply these two, I get 2. When I multiply these two, I get 3, the square root of 2. But I multiplied by 1, which does not change anything. I cannot square unless it's an equation. So coming back to our problem, I have to move my symbol further down because I keep writing in between. And hopefully someone is looking at this, and I don't want to confuse those people. Okay, so I'm here now. I'll continue here. So I have limit as age approaches 0 from the square root of 2x plus 2h minus 9 minus the square root of 2x minus 9 over h. So when I have two terms, and we did that, I'm going to turn this off. So we did that when we used the formula a minus b times a plus b. We did this. We had a problem. I'm pretty sure that we did this sometime last week. So I have a minus b. I need a plus b in order to get a squared minus b squared. This was the first thing we did the first day of classes. So what do I multiply and divide by? Because it has to be 1. Has to be the same. The square root of 2 over the square root of 2. Whatever over whatever. So it have to be the same, so it's 1. So I'm not changing the problem. So can anyone tell us what is the quantity that we need to multiply and divide by?
The square root of 2x plus 2h minus 9 plus the square root of
Exactly.
2x minus 9?
Yes, exactly. The conjugate. So multiply by the conjugate. If we have minus in between, we will use plus. If I have plus in between, I will use minus. So this is, of course, 2x plus 2h minus 9 and 2x minus 9, 2x plus 2h minus 9, and 2x minus 9. I always run out of room. You already know that. My apologies. Okay, then, so moving on. Can anyone give us the next step? Limit as h approaches 0. Can anyone give us, I will write the denominator, that's easy. The square root of 2x plus 2h minus 9 and plus the square root of 2x minus 9. And can anyone give us the numerator? No one? Alex? Okay.
Is it just 2x plus 2h minus 9 minus 2x plus 9?
Gorgeous. So Michelle did this. She squared this to get that. Then she squared this to get 2x minus 9, but she already distributed a negative sign, and she said negative 2x plus h. Of course, I'm sorry, it's 9. Very good. Okay, what do we expect to happen now? Mandatory, otherwise we are in big trouble.
We will eliminate anything that's not x, or sorry, h. So
All terms without h will have to go away.
So plus 9, minus 9, and then the 2x
Good.
and minus
So
2x.
now I'm going to continue with a square. So you know now I'm on page 3. So this is limit as h approaches 0. The numerator is 2h. The denominator is the square root of 2x plus 2h minus 9 and plus the square root of 2x minus 9. What has to happen next? Otherwise, we have to go back to the drawing board.
Would we factor for h?
H is already factored. Brianna, what do you think we do next?
If you're fresh out the motherboard.
Shvam, are you okay?
I'm not really sure what to do. Would you take h out of the denominator and numerator?
Sure, we simplify by h and we get this. Who would like to give us the final form? Anyone? Final form, the limit operator goes away.
Would be 2 over the square root of 2x plus 2h minus 9 plus the square root of 2x minus 9.
But h approaches 0, right?
Oh, right, my bad.
Minus 9, and these will be simplified. So the answer is 1 over the square root of 2x minus 9.